A tax may be charged to a business, but that does not mean the business pays the whole cost in the end. Prices, wages, profits, and customer behavior can all shift after a tax is introduced. The real question is not only who receives the tax bill, but who actually carries the burden after the market adjusts. Taxes affect prices by changing the cost of selling, buying, producing, importing, or owning something. A sales tax adds to the purchase price. A fuel tax raises transportation costs. A property tax can affect rent and ownership costs. A corporate tax may influence profit, investment, or pricing decisions. The legal taxpayer and the economic payer can be different. A shop may be legally responsible for collecting sales tax, but customers may pay more at checkout. A landlord may receive the property tax bill, but part of the cost may appear in rent over time. Economists call this tax incidence. Take a simple sales tax on a $10 item. If the tax is 10%, the customer may see an $11 checkout price. But the seller might not raise the full price if customers are very price sensitive. The final burden may be shared through a higher customer price and a lower seller margin. Elasticity matters because it shows how strongly people change behavior when prices change. If customers can easily switch to another product, sellers may struggle to pass on the tax. If customers have few alternatives, more of the tax can show up in the price. The same tax can behave differently in different markets. Fuel is a useful example of inelastic demand. Many people still need to drive to work even if fuel gets more expensive. A fuel tax can therefore raise prices paid by drivers quickly. Some people reduce trips or buy efficient cars later, but in the short run, many cannot avoid the cost. Restaurant meals may be more elastic. If a tax raises the final bill, some customers eat out less, choose cheaper places, or cook at home. A restaurant may not pass on the full tax because losing customers could hurt more than accepting a smaller margin. The supply side matters too. If producers can easily reduce output, move production, or sell elsewhere, they may resist absorbing the tax. If they are locked into a location or long-term investment, they may accept lower profits for a while. Price changes depend on both buyer behavior and seller options. A tax on business inputs can raise prices indirectly. If shipping, packaging, rent, or imported materials become more expensive, the final product may cost more even if the tax is not charged at checkout. Customers may never see the tax line, but they feel the effect through the shelf price. Property taxes can affect housing costs. An owner-occupier pays directly. A landlord may try to recover higher property taxes through rent, especially if rental demand is strong. But if tenants have many alternatives or local wages are weak, the landlord may absorb part of the increase through lower net income. Sin taxes on cigarettes, alcohol, or sugary drinks are often designed to raise prices and reduce consumption. If the price increase is large enough, some people buy less. Others keep buying and spend more. The policy may collect revenue, change behavior, or do both, depending on the product and the buyers. Import duties can make foreign goods more expensive. A tariff on imported appliances may raise prices for consumers, protect some local producers, or push buyers toward domestic alternatives. But it can also raise costs for businesses that use imported parts. The effect spreads through supply chains. Visibility changes how people react. A tax added at checkout may feel more painful than one already included in the shelf price. Two products with the same final cost can feel different if one surprises the buyer at payment. Businesses care about how taxes appear, not only how large they are. In the short run, prices may not change immediately. Businesses may wait, test customer reaction, or use existing inventory. Over time, contracts renew, suppliers adjust, and customers change habits. A tax that looks mild at first may have larger effects after the market has time to respond. Taxes can reduce quantity sold if the final price rises enough. Customers lose some purchasing power. Sellers may lose volume or margin. Workers may be affected if lower sales reduce hours or hiring. Government gains revenue, but the market may produce less of the taxed item. This does not mean taxes are automatically bad. Taxes can fund services, discourage harmful behavior, or pay for public costs linked to a product. The point is that taxes change incentives. A good tax discussion must look at revenue, fairness, behavior, and who carries the burden. Imagine a small bakery facing a new packaging tax. The owner can raise prices, reduce packaging, accept lower profit, change suppliers, or sell smaller portions. The customer may see a higher price, a different container, or a smaller item. The tax does not stop at the legal bill, it changes decisions. For consumers, the practical takeaway is to look beyond the tax label. A higher price may come from a direct sales tax, an input tax, an import duty, or a property cost passed along. Understanding the chain helps explain why prices rise even when the tax is not visible on the receipt. Taxes affect prices because markets adjust around costs. The burden can fall on buyers, sellers, workers, owners, or some mix of all of them. Who pays in law is only the starting point. Who pays in real life depends on alternatives, competition, timing, and how badly each side needs the transaction. A simple fuel example makes this clearer. If a fuel tax rises, delivery companies may pay more to move goods. Some of that cost can appear in grocery prices, restaurant prices, or shipping fees. The tax starts in one place, but the final price impact can travel through several steps before the customer sees it. Not every tax changes prices by the same amount. If customers can easily switch to another product, businesses may absorb more of the tax to avoid losing sales. If the product is hard to avoid, more of the tax may appear in the final price. Choice is what decides how far the pressure can move. Restaurants show the problem in daily life. A new fee on supplies, rent, or payroll may not immediately become a separate line on the menu. Instead, the owner may raise popular items slightly, reduce portion sizes, or delay hiring. Prices can change directly, but they can also change through smaller business adjustments. A buyer may never see the tax line, but the tax can still shape the shelf price, package size, delivery fee, or discount schedule. This is why price debates can become confusing. One side may say the tax is charged to the business. Another may say customers pay it. Both can be partly true. The legal payer and the economic burden are not always the same person, because markets pass pressure along unevenly. The cleanest way to understand a tax is to follow the pressure. Ask who has choices, who has fewer choices, how easily demand changes, and how easily supply changes. The final price is usually the result of that tug of war, not just the number written in the tax rule.